The Flash issue 72, Joshua Williamson writing with Howard Porter on the art, and this is year 1, part 3.
Yeah. So let me ask Connor how he felt about this first.
Okay.
So Connor,
just in general, or
Yeah.
something specific?
Just in general about this issue.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me this issue had any more dialogue and narration than any issue of business stuff.
No, it's got a lot,
DC.
and I didn't love this issue, and
No.
I've not been feeling this arc so much.
I'm just looking for consistency. That's all. So
consistency, not hypocrisy.
It's not just the amount of dialogue with Bendis that I hate. It's that I feel like a lot of the characters all sound the same, which really bothers me even more.
That's fair. That's fair. But I'm going on the quantity thing here because
I would say this is more narration than speech. But there's a lot of speech as well.
This took me over the course of 2 days and 2 attempts to get through, because I was trying to read out my break at work, and every time I start to get to going, I turn the page and there was more, and I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. Let me get to something else that I can read through quick, because I am limited time.
I'm not really feeling this year 1. It feels like a checklist of beats that we have to hit, and we're missing all the interest. It'd be like there's a montage in this where Barry's actually going out and saving people for the first time and doing all these things, and it's played as just that just happens. I'm like, well, hang on, him going out and just stopping a regular mugger is the sort of stuff I want to be seeing him making that decision to do, and to go out on patrol essentially on a daily basis, rather than just, oh hey, there's a turtle over there, let's go deal with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll interject here because somehow I was cut out of this conversation at the start.
No, I know. I was just trying to get I was trying to catch him on hypocrisy.
Oh, sure, that's fine. I'm always for catching Connor out in a lie. I in a way, I kind of like this the most of the 3 issues. Now, let me explain what I mean. But I don't necessarily love it, right? But I think out of the 3, this is the one that feels the most like an actual year 1 issue. And what I think the reason for that is just because it's the Iris stuff, I think, more than anything, where he's trying to date Iris and he's having to clean up the apartment and he's getting called away to work and okay, here's Snart for the first time. It's not great, but it's the one out of the 3 issues where it felt like, okay, this feels like it does come from the middle of a year 1. I don't think the first 2 did. The first 2 feel like they're different.
This is the best of the 3 for sure, and I agree that it feels the most like year 1, but it feels like it's just going through the motions and just ticking the checklist of a year 1 rather than being enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue with that much.
I really did love the Iris stuff though.
That her
intimating. Yeah, that's the character stuff that I want out of Williamson. That's why I like Williamson. So I enjoyed Nailbiter so much and Birthright but when he starts to just check these boxes because of the Flash and him hinting as much as being a Flash fan I am, when he's like, oh, I need to find a quicker way to get into suit, And
you got the disassembled ring there.
Yeah, but the rest of it, I'm just kind of we're just going through the motions here.
Do you know what I really didn't feel? Mm-hmm. Him graffitiing the lightning whenever he saves someone.
Connor, he goes back and cleans
I know. But
actually, do you know what? My problem is not that he does it. My problem is there's actually a really valid point later on where Iris says, I don't know how I feel about the Flash yet. He's like, oh, why? He's like, well, I don't know yet because, there's no
evidence.
It's one thing for someone to be saving people, but I think the city needs hope. And I was taking that moment as, okay, this is kind of what inspires him to become a character, to become the Flash as a persona, right? And I feel like if he started doing the graffiti and the symbol after that, that'd have made more sense to me.
It would have. I think it was also weird that she was like, I need evidence before I actually believe in this guy. When she sees him, the very first time, with the top, she's like, oh man, my editor's going to think I'm drunk on the job.
Yeah, because the book starts with a turtle fight, which was set up last issue.
Yeah.
And, the fight itself's okay. It's fine. This is a really weird arc.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
I really thought this was going to be one of the all-timers with Williamson, and
I thought this is going to be the bit from his run. This is the trade you can hand to anyone. It'll be one of those timeless classics.
Yeah. And I'm just talking about his run in general, because it started off so strong, and it's had some dips and whatnot, and then the force power stuff throughout.
Yeah, that's all coming back in Death of the Speed Force.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So-
to be fair though, the height of his run was Flash War and the Gorilla one right before that. So I mean, the height of it wasn't even near the start. So he's definitely. It's not like there's a consistent trend up or down. It's just been very.
No.
Like the first,
And now I
kinda
feel
at this
we're in
point,
the lower
the
stretch.
first 2/3 or so was really strong. This last
Mhm.
third-ish has been significantly
Yeah.
weaker, in my opinion.
Yeah. I just think he gives Avery, right, and those fun small character beats.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't know. I'm not ditching it. I'm still gonna. It's
Yeah,
still
I'm not
better
near
Flash.
that point yet.
No, I don't think
I
any of
do
us
not-
are. I
Yeah,
think this.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just feel spoiled that I expect Flash to be good every month, right? Just because, and so when it's not, it feels like it's much more of a big deal than when it's just okay. It feels bad. So,
What's interesting is to see how he copes with switching to single shipping, because the pacing of the
Yeah.
book's going to have to change a little bit for that, I think.
yeah.
So
I would hope so. There's a fear that maybe they didn't tell them soon enough that they were going to be doing that, and
Yeah,
they
so-
were already mapping out like,
Yeah.
okay, this is this 12 issues, and it's still going to feel the same.
which if that's the case, I don't blame him for. If that's how what he mapped out, like
Yeah,
I totally get why it's too late to go back and rewrite like 10 issues that you'd already mostly pitched and like written and whatnot. Like you don't have time to go back and redo it all just because
yeah.
the release schedule's changed a little bit. So yeah, I mean I didn't dislike
art.
this one as
I
much
like
as the
the
last
art.
couple. I like the art too.
Like,
Yeah.
the art really saved the narration box and really weighed it down because I almost felt like I could just read the art and get the vibe of what was going on, you know. So
Yeah, it almost feels like it was supposed to feel like a Silver Age sort of thing. Like, oh, you know, when he's fighting the Toyo, time's speeding up again. Those bricks could hurt
Yep.
Iris and the police officers.
yeah,
And the other, it kind of feels like it's supposed to be emulating those thought bubbles from
Mhm.
that time period. It's too much.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
Connor?
I'll give it a 6 because it's the best of the three, and you know, it's not, it's more readable, I think, than the last couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of in that kind of boat, like 5.56
Yeah.
kind of range. But I don't know what I don't remember what I rated the last couple. Maybe my ratings aren't consistent here, but I do think this is the best of the three because it feels more like an actual year one issue. But yeah, this art's been frustrating for doing these weird extra things, for not focusing on what a year one should be focusing on, and I know, which is why I like this issue a bit more, because the Iris stuff felt kind of like, okay, this is early days, him dealing with the fact that he's lying to her about it, and you know, dealing with that.
Mm.